Hello and welcome to the first playthrough journal of Bloodborne for snapcontroller.com. Here I am at Hemwick Charnel Lane, and I'm here because I have deleted a whole ton of videos, probably 2 days worth, and you will have missed a large chunk of what I've done in that time. I was going to tell you how I'd rescued this dirty prostitute from her little hovel and introduced her to the weird guy. I was going to tell you that, or show you even, that I defeated the blood-starved beast and therefore opened this passageway and lift up to this area where a crazy old man in a wheelchair has a Gatling gun. Not that tough, but still, new area. I was going to show you how this area leads to a tower that if you scale you meet up with some men with rifles, crazy old men in wheelchairs that have guns, and another giant brick wielding ogre thing. And seeing as it's a tower, a little bit like I was going to say Igor, but that's not right, is it? Is that the guy from the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Anyway, Igor. There was more wheelchair men, this time with flamethrowers at the top of the tower, and also at the top of the tower a doorway, a brand new doorway to a shiny new realm, a realm we've not yet explored, a realm undiscovered. And once I had cleared out the tower, I went to the door, and of course it was locked, so we left and we had to turn back. I was going to show you how, if you go to the basement of this little tower, you find a giant chasm with intersected crossways, walkways that lead to another area below, and you have to navigate them very carefully, making sure that you don't drop into oblivion. I was going to show you that a couple of times I fell a hell of a long way, but I couldn't because I deleted the videos. There was a section up here where there's a very small point to jump onto, and this is the point that I missed several times, falling all the way to the bottom. But not this time, because I know my way now. I was going to show you that when you reach the bottom, there's a crazy big humanoid wolf thing with flaming arms that shoots fireballs at you. Somehow, I don't know how wolf things cast magic, is beyond my apprehension at the moment, but yeah, Wolfman at the bottom of the pit, but he's not here because deleted videos. Shame. This area right here is a brand new little loop back to the chapel district, and it has these sack men, these giant men with lumbering sacks of, I imagine, humans, because they're huge, and they're massively tough. And when they kill you, and it is when, not if, when they kill you, it's not like a usual death. It seems like it is at first, but it wasn't, and I wanted to show you exactly what happened. There's a cool little cutscene and everything. I mean, you still lose all your blood echoes, but you go to a brand new area, and I wanted to show you that whole deal. And this is the area, Yahar Ghul Unseen Village. Great name, unpronounceable. This is the lantern that helps you get back in front of this weird pumpkin man on a plinth. But this is where I woke up, in this jail cell. And it was weird, because obviously when you usually die, you just start where you'd finished. But no. I was going to show you my trip through Old Yarnum, where the crazy man on top of the tower started shooting at me, and I had no idea how to navigate through the area to get to him. I was going to show you about the wolves and the crazy other enemies that are in this area. There's basically two types of enemy. There's wolf, and then there's wolf with a rag over his head, and they don't do anything different. They're both exactly the same in principle, and weak, so quite easy to destroy. But yeah, I was going to show you how I killed the crazy guy on top of the tower with his big gun. There he is, up there, or he used to be. But I got up here and I killed him. And I say killed him, I just charged at him and he fell off. And I still get the kill, but I mean, gravity did most of the work, if I'm honest. But yeah, lovely view. I had it all set up to show you this bit where I absolutely crapped my pants the first time that this bugger jumped out on me. It was like Resident Evil when the dog jumps out the window. Yeah, shit myself. I was going to tell you about this chapel and how I stared long and hard at that thing in the middle of the room thinking it was going to come to life because it was a giant beast looking thing. And once I'd killed everyone, I stared at it for ages. I was also making jokes about how the hell I was going to get down from this beam because I didn't know. I was going to show you just how easy werewolves have become now. As much as I panicked about the two in Central Yarnum, now I can take them quite easily just because of upgraded weaponry and upgraded health. This one hiding up here, waiting to ambush me. I'm guessing that you're not meant to see it, but it was pretty obvious. It's a giant werewolf hanging off the side of a building. I mean, it's not like Spider-Man. It was pretty obvious. And then obviously you pick that thing up and he charges. So anyway, here I am in Hemlock Chancery Lane. I don't know, that's a train station. But this is the home of the Witches of Eastwick. Just a load of crones with various druid weapons like torches and sickles and scythes and halabards. But yeah, pretty easy to kill, just like normal hunters really, except they're female and they scream a bit. It's got the usual enemies, Brick Hand Man, but we know how easy they are to kill now, even when they're clubbing me with their giant breeze block. Yeah. Some of the crazy witches throw fire bombs at you, but they're not a problem to deal with, much like any firing enemy. It's only when you're in a group and they're throwing stuff at you while you're fighting other people. That's a problem. I found this gate at the top of this hill, which of course in Bloodborne was locked, but I just figured it was a quick route back when you go further on. While I was in this barn, shit myself again. Crazy lady came out of the dark with her sickle. Posed no real threat, but still, only to my pants. This area here, I found massive stacks of hay. All the hay, in fact. All the hay in Yarnum. And I came in here with an open flame, which could have been an issue if there was any sort of burning physics in this game, but there isn't. There was another ambush here, except it was rubbish, because the woman just attacked nothing, and then I went and killed her. At the bottom of this stairs, I found that some of the enemies from earlier that were quite hard to kill on their own have duplicated. Two of these fat geezers with the massive cleaver, the ones that are still quite hard to kill even when they're on their own. So I wasn't best pleased going out there. However, I found out that these fat bastards can't fit through the doorway, so I just waited and attacked them. This is what they should do to the cake aisle in Tesco's. Make it really thin so that the fat people can't get down there. It would solve the weight problem immediately. This fat guy decided to cling to me, which was an interesting 10 seconds, while I was dragging his fat carcass around the world. But he let go. And then at the top of the hill, I realised I was coming towards a boss fight. Ominous building, archways, staircases, plenty of notes letting me know that things are coming up. And I had 21,000 blood echoes, so I was debating whether or not to do the attack. But I'd come this far, I didn't fancy going all the way back, so I went in. It says beware of the unseen enemy, and there was no one in the room, so I was a little bit wary as I moved in, and then this explosion of red made me shit myself, and I ran in the other direction. But what they meant by unseen enemy was the witch, and she appears around the room, but she's quite easy to kill. You get behind her and you can do massive damage, like 700 damage on my first attack. Quite easy to destroy. And you just keep going around and doing that kind of thing. Of course they do have an attack, and every now and again they use it, this time. As you can see, quite devastating, over half your life, so you have to be careful. And then I realised that there were two. Once I killed the first one, the second one appeared, which was a pain, but again quite slow, easy to attack, so I didn't think I was going to have any problems at all. But then she healed the other one, so now I had two at a time, and they started using their dirty spells. So it wasn't just a case of them attacking me when I got close, they were firing chain missiles at me that froze me on the spot. And once that happened and I got treble teamed by the dirty witches and the big Bob Marley monster, there was no hope and I was murdered. 21,000 blood echoes down the tubes. Alright, that's it for this week. Hopefully you'll join me next time when I will defeat these two old crones. Until then, goodbye.